Hello, check. All right, people, I believe we are finally live. Welcome back to The Alchemist by Unacademy. My name is Pahul, and if I'm audible and visible, please write here in the chat box. You know exactly what to do. You know the drill. Yeah. So, people, today we are here to revive the Take 5 series. We had done it last year, and it is something that got a very good response from students who are especially serious about their preparation. Yeah. Everyone who has just joined, please listen to me carefully. This series is applicable for everyone who's preparing for any examination in 2021. Okay? Even if you are 12th class students who have to just revise some chapters, this is a good series for you. How is it applicable for JEE Mains? How is it applicable for NEET? Well, if you are able to solve difficult questions, easier questions will feel much easier to you. That's the main point of this series. Okay, so even though we are targeting advanced level questions, I will try to make them as simple as possible for you. And when you learn how to approach a question, when you learn how to solve a question, it helps you regardless of the examination, regardless of the level. Fine. So it is helpful for everyone who's preparing for an examination, especially in 2021. Okay, so now I will enable the slow mode in the chat, because if I don't enable the slow mode, there is someone or the other who just keeps wreaking havoc. Yeah, fine. So once again, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to this series, my name is Pahul. I'm an alumnus of IIT Bombay, and the language of teaching over here will be English. Fine. Also, this will be an interactive class. The kind of questions that we've taken, I will keep asking you for your inputs in those questions, and we will not hurry through these questions. Okay, we won't go really fast. We'll go slow and steady. In case you want to watch these questions, if you want to watch these classes in a faster pace, then you can watch them later on YouTube at a higher speed. Once the live stream is over, you can change the speed of the stream and watch it at 1.5x or 2x speed as well. Fine. Also, there is no specific chapter that we are covering in the Take 5 series. The Take 5 series is 5 questions of chemistry at random. कहीं से भी हो सकते हैं. Okay, these questions can be from anywhere. Now, for those of you, okay, who want chapter-wise practice, okay, if you want chapter-wise, okay, chapter-wise revision, or you can call it a crash course in chemistry as well. Okay, chapter-wise revision or crash course if you want. We are doing a series called High Octane Series. This is being done on Unacademy's platform for free, and again the link in the description box down below. ठीक है जी? The link is in the description box. The very first link that is there in the description box today is this one. Okay, so you can check that out. ठीक है? This is happening on Unacademy for free, by the way. Yeah, so you can enroll in it for free, and if you do the enrollment, then you will be able to revise each and every chapter one by one as a crash course. We are doing JEE Advanced previous year problems over here to revise the concepts. ठीक है? तो ये live हो चुका है. The link is in the description box. Please make sure you check that out. All right. Also, in case you want to solve any tests, in case you want to join a test series, there are these 2 series that you can join. Link in the description. This one you can Google out if you want. Every Sunday there are tests. There are scholarships in both. Why are tests important? Because they tell you what your rank is. These are all India level tests. Okay. So if you want to know your rank, if you want to know a proper analysis, if you want some more questions to practice, which you should, use the code PAHUL. Okay. In Unacademy, wherever you have to enroll, if you have to enroll for free, if you have to enroll for the paid subscription, code is the same, PAHUL, Pahul. Simple as that. Okay. So right now there's an offer that I'll tell you, and then we will move on to the questions of today's class, that if you buy 1 year Unacademy subscription, you get 3 months for free. And if you buy 2-year Unacademy subscription, you'll get 4 months for free. This makes it a very useful value for money proposition for all of you. Okay, the last day is tomorrow for this offer. तो आज कर लो अगर करना है तो. Please enroll today if you want. You can. There are literally thousands of courses available on Unacademy Plus. There are teachers like the iconic DC Pandey, N. Avasthi, MS Chauhan, Jaiswal Sir teaching on the Unacademy Plus platform. Okay, there are really iconic teachers that we have curated for you, and I will take live classes on the Plus platform. In case you want to join There are infinite number of batches. You can join any batch that you want, whatever teacher suits you. Infinite number of educators. Okay, you can join courses in Hindi, English. There are courses in some South Indian languages as well. Just scroll through Unacademy, you'll get to know. And once you use the coupon code Pahul to enroll, 1 year subscription, which you are getting 3 months extra on, less than 3,000 per month. Yeah, and you get 3 months more for free. So can't be more reasonable than that. Infinite number of courses available. So it's not like you're joining one particular batch. You can go to any batch whatsoever. Okay. So these are the prices for the plus subscription. And if you want personal mentorship as well at the same time, Iconic subscriptions prices are here. We will give you a personal mentor. That personal mentor will take care of your needs. You know, whenever you need a test, whenever you need study material, whenever you need planning, whenever you need to talk to some academic mentor, that's taken care of over here. ठीक है जी? Done? Code is the same, PAHUL Pahul. चलो जी. You can follow me on Instagram. Unacademy पे भी, if you follow me, then you can see what are the free classes, what are the paid classes that I'm taking. Okay, so you can follow me over here. You can send me a message over here as well if you want. Chalo ji. Now let's come to the first question. The first question of today's class is from Inorganic Chemistry. Are we ready to solve it? Let's read this question now. Okay. A colorless aqueous solution contains nitrates of two metals X and Y. When it was added to an aqueous solution of NaCl, a white precipitate was formed. Okay, great. There are two nitrates, some XNO3 and some YNO3. Now, depending on the valencies, it can have, you know, different forms of nitrates. Yeah, XNO3 whole twice bhi ho sakta hai, so on and so forth. Fine. Okay. Now, this precipitate was found to be partly soluble in hot water to give a residue P and a solution Q. Okay, great. The residue P was soluble in aqueous NH3 and also in excess of sodium thiosulfate. The hot solution Q gave a yellow precipitate with Ki. What are the metals X and Y respectively? People, there are two main hints in this particular question. Okay, there are two main hints that are hidden inside this question. Let me highlight those for you. Okay. First is yellow precipitate with Ki. Okay. Which metal's iodide is yellow? Think about it. Which metal's iodide is yellow? सोच के देखो जरा. Okay. And also white precipitate. Yeah. There's a nitrate. You make a chloride out of it. Yes. If you have nitrates and you put NaCl, it will turn into chloride. Yes. So which chloride is white in color? And that will give you a good hint now. And what a tacky on, bro, the series happens at 9:30 because my schedule is sort of jam-packed these days. The thing that you can do is you can watch the classes the next day in case you want. And anyway, since you've been a very regular student of mine, I'm pretty sure those classes won't be very, you don't need to attend the entire class. Even if you just go to the questions at those specific moments in the class, solve those questions, you'll be good to go. So white precipitate NaCl, I think everyone has stumbled upon AgCl for sure, isn't it? AgCl to ban raha hai. AgCl is one of the most popular white precipitates. Yeah, and it is insoluble. It's white, it is insoluble, no matter what you do. Yeah, koi temperature, kuch bhi kar lo. Forget about it, yeah. So silver chloride is white, it's insoluble. So we know a little bit of this question now. Okay. What I'm teaching you is the approach of solving this question. Okay. And in inorganic chemistry, questions more difficult than this cannot be made. This is the toughest you can make in inorganic chemistry because inorganic chemistry is all about remembering things. अगर आपको याद है तो याद है, बढ़िया. If you remember it, remember it. Where are the avocados is saying watching the class late on Unacademy is not cool because you can't answer the poll questions. Well, that's true. But chalega, ठीक है. So what I'm assuming is one of these out of X and Y is silver's nitrate, AgNO3. Yeah, and what we are doing after putting it in NaCl is that we are converting into AgCl. Yeah, and this precipitate was found to be partly soluble in hot water to give a residue P and a solution Q. This is not going to dissolve in hot water. Yeah, this is not going to dissolve in hot water. So AgCl will just come out from hot water as AgCl. Yeah, so this is P. I can say that this is P. I बोल सकता हूँ this is P. Okay. Now P was soluble in aqueous NH3 and also in excess sodium thiosulfate. Now, the more interesting part of this class and this series is that we'll try to solve the intermediate steps in the question as well. So we need to write these reactions, okay? P was soluble in NH3 and excess sodium thiosulfate. We need to write these reactions now, okay? Can you please help me write these reactions? यहाँ पे लिखते हैं अपन AgCl को लेके. So first thing is AgCl is being added to aqueous NH3. Yeah. What should be the result, people? There is a reaction that's happening. That is why it is soluble. Okay. What do you get out of it? Is there a complex formation? Can you guys tell me what will be the answer over here? Yeah, this is also a part of the question now. यहाँ का answer तो I think it's pretty simple. It's not that difficult to figure out the answer to this question as such. But what's this reaction now? Silver will make a complex. Yes, silver will make a complex with ammonia, amine complex. Yeah. So silver Ag अंदर क्या आएगा? NH3. Then whole twice. Yes. But can silver have a charge of +2? Very rare. So we need to balance the charge over here using chlorine, of course. है ना जी? ठीक है? So you just put a chlorine outside the coordination entity. AgNH3 with a positive charge because of silver, and there is a chlorine outside. This is a complex which is clear. Yeah, clear solution, must take them soluble. Because it's soluble, so the solution is clear. Fine. The next solution that we have to make is of AgCl with sodium thiosulfate. AgCl with sodium thiosulfate, Na2S2O3. And again we are taking this, this was in excess and this is also in excess. So what's going to happen over here? Again, I think a complex is going to get formed. What kind of a complex will it be? What is the thing inside the coordination entity? What's there outside the coordination entity, etc., etc. Socho? Think about it, people. Ganesh, it's not a problem, bro. It's fine. Chalo, so यहाँ पे the coordination entity will be very similar to this one. AgS2O3 whole twice. Okay, that's the kind of complexes silver makes. What should be outside the coordination entity now? What should be outside the coordination entity now? Think about it. How many sodiums? Of course, it has to be balanced by sodium. Dekho. Thiosulfate will have two negative charge. Two thiosulfates will have a 4 negative charge. This is what? 1 positive. So 3 negatives have to be balanced. 3 negatives have to be balanced. Yeah. Because of the thiosulfate, 4 negative, silver ki wajah se 1 positive. So over here, 3 negatives still have to be balanced. So you have to balance them using 3 sodiums. Okay, you can keep balancing the reaction later. It's fine even if you don't balance the entire reaction. But this is the coordination compound that is formed. Okay. On the side, you will form some NaCl as well. अगर balance करना है तो I don't think it's too difficult. यहाँ पे 2 लगा दो, balance हो जाएगा. Yeah. I think the reaction is balanced now. No problem at all. Over here, if you want to balance the reaction, there it goes. Done. Fine. So silver tends to make these coordination complexes with ammonia and thiosulfate. Alright. Please don't forget these reactions. These are important reactions. These reactions can straight away come in your NEET or JEE main exam as well. Fine. So silver का तो clear हो गया. Okay, let's eliminate these options. Silver is pretty clear. Now, as I told you, which iodide is yellow? I'm going to erase this. I'll give you 5 seconds in case you want to take a screenshot or pause the video over here. Then we'll go later. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shreyas is saying NH3 is neutral. Yes, NH3 is neutral. Ag का charge is being balanced by Cl. Okay. चलो जी, इसको हटाते हैं. Now what you should remember is that lead iodide is yellow in color. Okay. PBI, sorry, PBI क्यों लिख रहा हूं मैं? PBI2. Just a second. This is yellow in color. Alright. Carbon family, lead. Because of the inert pair effect, it loses only 2 electrons, not 4. PBI2. Alright. And it's yellow in color. So the answer to this question, of course, is option number A. Okay? Silver ka we've already figured it out. What about lead? Is there anything? Acha. So let's think about lead as well. So you had lead nitrate. Yeah. And what you do is you convert it into chloride. This is also white in color. Fine. The first thing that we did when we put NaCl into it, you get lead chloride. That is also white in color. ठीक है? Understood? Now, my dear friends, the thing is that this guy can get dissolved in hot water. ठीक है? जैसे ही आपने hot water में इसको dissolve किया, fine. So first you put NaCl, you get this white precipitate, but when you put hot water into it, this becomes aqueous in nature. Okay? Instead of staying as a precipitate, it becomes aqueous in nature. Fine. So PbCl2 is aqueous now. This is in hot water. Okay? It doesn't dissolve in cold water that well. Hot water mein it can dissolve. Fine. Now when you take PbCl2, ये जो solution Q है, this is your solution Q. Okay? Aqueous PbCl2, hot is your solution Q. Now the hot solution Q gave a yellow precipitate with Ki. I think this reaction is very simple. All you need to do is write PbCl2 plus Ki to give you PbI2. And you will get 2 times KCl on the side. That's fine. Yeah. Done? Okay. So, Ramamurthy is saying, sir, is it useful to solve the intermediate steps? Absolutely, yes. That is why we are spending more time on this question. Okay. We want to spend more time on this question because we want to solve each and everything. So, using just one question, do you realize we've learned so many things? We have learned that there is a nitrate of silver and lead. Okay. Silver nitrate, when combined with NaCl, gives AgCl. That's a white precipitate. It's totally insoluble. It does not dissolve in hot water. Also, that silver's chloride is capable of making a complex with NH3. It's capable of making a complex with thiosulfate. At the same time, we've learned that lead's iodide is yellow in color. Lead's chloride is sparingly soluble. When it's not soluble, it's a white precipitate, but when you heat it up in water, it gives you a hot solution. And that hot solution can go around this displacement reaction where PbI2 will be your yellow precipitate. So many things that we've learned from this question. And do you know that this question, if you are someone who's been practicing properly, this question, do you guys recognize where this is from? Yamini? I know these reactions are a little difficult to find from the NCERT. That's why when I say solve more and more inorganic chemistry questions, this is what I mean. Because by solving one question, you have learned a lot of new theory as well. So now if they ask you a question related to whatever we've done today, it won't be a problem to you. Yeah? ठीक है? Someone is saying these reactions are not given in the NCERT and in coaching materials either. There is so many reactions in inorganic that makes it difficult. I know. That's the thing about inorganic. So in the examination, if you get such a question, if you know the reactions, great. If you don't know the reactions, it was not that difficult. Do you understand that this and this is enough to solve this question? In the question, you just had to tick silver and lead. You know silver, lead iodide is yellow. You know silver forms a precipitate with NaCl, that is white and insoluble. Done. You did not need to know the other reactions. It's just because we are spending more time with this question, we are solving all of that. Chamka? So, exam में करना मुश्किल नहीं. It's very easy to do in the examination. But when we are doing it outside the examination, we need to spend quality time with it. Yeah? Nice one. चलो, inorganic हो गया आज के लिए. Let's go to some organic chemistry. I am really fond of organic chemistry. So there are a couple of questions of organic that I've kept in today's class. करते हैं ये. Let's do this now. Which of these are identical? My dear friends, what I need for you to do in the chat box is tell me what should be the approach to this question. What we've been given right now are, these are Newman projections, isn't it? What do you suggest? Should we convert them into Fisher projections? Should we just convert them into Sohor's projections? Should we simply convert them into bond line formulae? What is your suggestion? Some people are saying that, sir, we should turn this into a Sohor's projection. First of all, do you realize making Fisher projections is just going to increase the confusion over here? Yeah, making a Fisher projection, if you want to do it for the first two cases, I'll do it for you. Okay, for the first two cases, I'll make the Fisher projection and you'll see it is not the best way to do it. It can be done, it's not the best way to do it. So, iska agar main Fisher projection banaunga, it looks something like this. CH3 at the back, then you've got OH and CH3, and then if I take the CH3 over here, then I have a C2H5 and a CH3. Yeah, this is the Fisher projection for P. Let me now draw the Fisher projection for Q. How did I draw this? I will tell you in some time. Okay, अभी मैं फटाफट से बना रहा हूँ बस. Okay, this is going to be even more pointless now. ये ऐसा किया, ओ भाई साहब, very useless. So CH3, H, and over here at the bottom we've got this carbon which has a CH3, it has an OH group, it has a CH3, and this carbon also has ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक कार्बन है and that carbon has a C2H5 and a hydrogen. Do you realize it's very difficult to compare these two structures? थोड़ा सा not a good idea. Okay, fine. I don't like this. Okay, this is just complicated question turning it into another complicated question. Pointless. Now, one of my friends is suggesting, Shreyas is saying, sir, but using SR is easy. Shreyas is saying that take the chiral centers and write what is the, what do you call it, configuration of that carbon. Yeah, you can write whether this carbon is S or R, etc. So Shreyas is suggesting this. People, can you tell me what is the problem with the solution Shreyas is telling us? What do you think? Shreyas is giving us a solution and Shreyas is saying that you can write the configuration of each and every carbon over here. What's the problem with his solution, his or her solution? Sorry. Very difficult to judge genders just by looking at names. Peter, thank you so much, Peter. People, can you read what Peter has just written in the chat box? Peter ka message, I am pinning it on the chat box for a little while. What did Peter say? Yeah, Bhuvan, very nice. Revant, very nice. Lengthy की बात नहीं है. Pratham, it's not about being lengthy. There is no chiral carbon anywhere in this particular question. If you notice carefully, there is no chirality. Yeah, there is no chiral carbon. So I know, looking at such questions, the first tendency is to, okay, we'll write configuration and we know the answer. There is no chirality over here. Yeah. So I was expecting someone to do this mistake. Good that you made this mistake. Teaches you to read the questions even more carefully, because the questions might look similar to what you've seen earlier, but they're not. What else can we do now? यार मैं बोलता हूँ, okay, my suggestion is simply convert it into bond line formula. Yeah, just convert it to bond line formula. No sawhorse, nothing. Just convert it to a plain old bond line formula and we are done. Okay, so carbons at the front, let's call this carbon A. Carbon at the back, let's call it carbon B. यहाँ पे जो भी पीछे carbon है, let's call it carbon B. And how we will turn it into a bond line formula is similar to making a sawhorse projection. Okay, you can call it a sawhorse projection if you want. That's also fine. So this is my carbon A. This is my carbon B. I don't need to worry about the orientation because there is no chirality. Yeah. Why did I say that there's no need of sawhorse projections? Because in sawhorse projections, you have to be very careful about the orientation of everything. Doesn't matter over here. Yeah. So on carbon A, there are two CH3s and there's a C2H5. Yeah. There is not really a sawhorse projection because I did not take care of the CH3 and C2H5 where they are, left, right. Doesn't matter because it's not chiral. Okay. Carbon B mein there's an OH, there are two CH3s. Two CH3s and there's an OH. Okay? Did you understand the carbon A, carbon B thing? I hope you did. Just look at these two structures. Okay, so this is P. Then let's write the same thing for Q. बहुत ही simple हो जाएगा अब तो करना. Carbon A has C2H5 and then it has another carbon which has an OH and two carbons like this, and the carbon at the back has just one more CH3. Okay, then I'm going to erase this so that I have more space. Fine. Then we'll make the same thing for R. R mein kya hai? Two carbons. Carbon at the front has CH3, CH3, OH, and at the back it has C2H5, C2H5 and CH3. Let me make it like this. C2H5, C2H5 and CH3. Okay, this is R, and then finally you've got S. S mein kya hai? People understood the methodology? It's very simple. So this front carbon has a CH3. Hydrogens we don't care about because in bond line formula we don't draw hydrogens, which makes things easier. The carbon at the back has a C2H5, has an OH group and has another carbon which has two more CH3s on it. Yeah, ye ho gaya S. Now look at all of these and tell me which is the same. Okay, which of these two are the same? Can you tell me? थोड़ा सा black color में कर देता हूँ इसको so that it is easier to see. Which one of these two are the same? Which one of these two are the same now? Tell me. OH, CH3, CH3, CH. Oh हाँ, sorry. एक चीज मैंने extra बना दी. Thanks for the correction. Yeah, I misread that. थैंक यू सो मच. आर में मैंने कुछ तो गलत किया था. या अखिल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट करेक्शन. Akhil has identified. I accidentally wrote a CH3 instead of this hydrogen. Yeah, now you can tell me what is pretty much similar. So, OH है नहीं. Okay, OH है. Which two are the same people? OH connected to a carbon that has two methyls. It's a line. बताओ दोस्तों. क्या कर रहे हो? QR, PR, QS, PS. What's going on, people? Can you please tell me which two are the exact same over here? देखो ना इन दोनों को यार. Please look at these two. Look at your OH group, okay? First of all, we've got an OH, we've got an OH. Okay? Now next to OH we have two methyl groups, we have two methyl groups next to the OH. Now after this carbon, yeah, we have one more carbon. Fine, I'll put that in blue color. This blue colored carbon has two ethyl groups. Ethyl, 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 ethyl. So over here Q and R are pretty much the same. Okay, very nice. Q and R are identical. Okay, use the same idea. So if you want to compare R and P, so there is OH, two methyls, then this carbon has two ethyls over here, it has one ethyl and two methyls over here, so these two are not identical. Yeah, this carbon does not match. This carbon does not match. Okay, fine. These two are absolutely the same. यहाँ पे तो पता लग ही रहा है कुछ और ही चल रहा है. Yeah, over here something else is going on. The carbon with the OH has two ethyls on it. Fine, nice. So did you understand how simple this question is? If you are to do this in the examination, all you need to do is avoid any silly mistakes, because sometimes you might miss a group while making the projection. If you avoid all the silly mistakes, then I don't think it's difficult at all. ठीक है? Peter is saying, while comparing, why didn't we take into account the orientation of the group atoms in the molecule? Peter, you have contradicted your own answer. So earlier you said that there's no chirality. Because there's no chirality, the orientation doesn't matter. The orientation matters when the carbon is chiral. ठीक है? Ashish is saying, why don't you make this series chapter wise? It will help us prepare better while studying later. Ashish, because this is not a chapter wise series. I've taken so many chapter wise series earlier, bro. And I'm taking one on Unacademy for free. It's called the High Octane series. The link of it is in the top of the description box. We need well-rounded practice, because in the examination, it's not going to be chapter wise. So solving these actually prepares you better for the exam. Okay. Done. Nikita is saying this was paper 1 question JEE Advanced. Yeah, this question is also from 2020 JEE Advanced, by the way. Lo. Anurag is saying that, sir, the first approach should be counting the carbons. Is there a difference in the number of carbons in these structures? If that, then Anurag, you won the prize for coming up with the easiest solution. Let's take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 carbons. And what about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. Counting carbons gets you nowhere. It just wastes time. Okay, counting the carbons will get you nowhere. It will just waste your time. 8 carbons, कोई फायदा नहीं है. Okay, nice question. So, if these were chiral, then Fisher projections would help, or Sohos projections might help. Because they are not chiral, simply convert them into straightforward bond line formulas to get your answer. चलो जी आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now comes physical chemistry. In thermodynamics, the PV work done is given by W is equal to minus P external dV. Integrate कर दो, बढ़िया. This is pretty common. This is a very common formula, yeah. Universal formula for work done in chemistry. Why is there a minus sign? It's because of chemistry's convention. Don't say, sir, the formula is wrong. It is correct. It's just chemistry's convention, okay? Physics mein, there is a plus sign over there. Fine. Ali, bro, you can rewind and watch the question again, please. If there is a specific doubt, then you can ask me. Okay? Chalo. So, this is simple. Yeah. Now, for a system undergoing a particular process, the work done is this equation is applicable to, there are 4 options. You have to choose the correct option / options. Read it and then we'll go forward. Shriram, by new I mean I haven't solved these questions earlier in any of my classes. I can't create questions from out of the blue, man. Like I can, but I am not creating those every single day. It's not an easy task to do. Okay, bro. दिव्यांश आदत डाल ले मेरे दोस्त. तो सवाल से फील लेना मेरे भाई. बताओ. चलो, I think everyone knows that A. सोच के देखते हैं, चलो, ठीक है. Can I say that P external is equal to RT by V minus B minus A by V square? Yeah, can I say that? P external is equal to that jazz. Fine. So if I rearrange this a little, I can say that P external plus A by V square into V minus B is equal to RT. And this is definitely the van der Waals equation for 1 mole of gas. But do you realize that in van der Waals equation, there has to be P internal. In van der Waals equation, we take pressure of the gas, not the external pressure. The actual van der Waals equation is P internal or pressure of the gas. Yeah, plus A by V square into V minus B is equal to RT. Writing it for 1 mole of gas. Yeah. So what this says over here is, first thing that you should think of is that in this particular question, P internal is equal to P external. When is this going to happen? When is pressure internal equal to pressure external? When is internal pressure equal to external pressure? Batao. That is true for reversible process. Yeah, you can replace the P internal over here with P external only and only if this is a reversible process. Yeah, if this is a quasi-static process. What do you mean by a quasi-static process? That at all points of time the process is almost static. Yeah, I don't know a better word for static. So the process is almost static, and because it is static, the internal parameters are equal to the external parameters. The system is in equilibrium with the surroundings at all point of time. That's the basic idea behind a reversible process. Fine. So this is true only for reversible processes. ठीक है? So this equation is applicable to a system that satisfies van der Waals equation of state. Only if it is reversible. Yeah. This question is a little. They should have first of all mentioned over here a van der Waals equation of state in a reversible condition. Okay. This equation is not applicable for irreversible conditions. Okay. So if you have a van der Waals gas which satisfies the van der Waals equation, great. But it does not follow a reversible process. Then what? System that satisfies the van der Waals equation of state? Not always. Yeah. applicable to a system that satisfies the van der Waals equation of state if the process is reversible. Yeah? यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा, okay, यहाँ पे मैं लिख दूंगा only if reversible. ठीक है, fine. Now the option D says process that is irreversible and at constant isothermal. Irreversible में तो you can't replace P internal with P external. Okay, so to write this equation for an irreversible process is pointless. It doesn't make any sense. तो D तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Okay. Now what about B and C? B says process that is reversible. C also says process that is reversible. But one case it says isothermal, and in one case it says adiabatic. Ab, which of these should be true? Which of these should be true? Antarjot, what part did you not understand? Can you tell me? Shashwat, you should be able to solve 99.99% of the questions that come in front of you. That's the quality you need in order to achieve AR top 10 in JEE 2023. अच्छा ये बताओ, Van der Waals equation? Van der Waals equation में the only thing you did is you changed P internal with P external, so the condition over here is reversibility. Okay, great. Now tell me, if there is a Van der Waals gas, okay, there is a gas that follows the Van der Waals equation. Will it follow the Van der Waals equation in an adiabatic process? Will it follow the Van der Waals equation in an isothermal process? सोच के देखो. Let me tell you. Okay, this is the equation. Yeah, I will write something over here. This equation is true for any reversible process for a Van der Waals gas. This is not Volkswagen. Okay, this is not the car company VW. Van der Waals gas. Do you understand that this equation is true for any process for a Van der Waals gas? And why reversible? Because we've exchanged P internal with P external. Yeah? P internal is equal to P external only during a reversible process. That's why the process has to be reversible. Also, if the process is reversible, this equation is true for any reversible process for a Van der Waals gas. Yeah? Siddharth, PV की power gamma in adiabatic is okay, fine. That is some consequence that comes later, and that is true only for an ideal gas. Okay. Achha, this might sound a little complicated to you. Tell me, for an ideal gas, okay, for an ideal gas, PV equal to nRT, is that equation correct? This is true for an ideal gas, okay. If there is an isothermal process, does this equation hold true? Yes, it does. Because of this equation, I can say PV is constant in an isothermal process. If there is an adiabatic process, does this equation hold true? Yes, it does. P will vary, V will vary, T will vary proportionally to each other. If there is an isochoric process, is this equation valid? Yes, it is. If there is an isobaric process, is this equation valid? Yes, it is. The ideal gas equation is applicable for an ideal gas in any process. Similarly, this equation is true for any process which is reversible. First of all, why reversible? Because P internal is equal to P external. That happens only when the process is reversible. Second of all, it is true only for Van der Waals gases. Van der Waals gases are what? The gases that follow this particular formula. So regardless of whatever process you have, this equation is applicable. Okay? PV raised to the power gamma being a constant quantity is applicable for only reversible gases of, reversible ideal gas. Reversible process, ideal gas, adiabatic. PV to the power gamma is a very specific formula. Don't apply it everywhere you see adiabatic. Okay? So, B and C are correct. Again, the statements are sort of incomplete. Let me complete the statements to make this question a little more sensible. Okay, right now all the statements are ambiguous. How do I remove the ambiguity? Look at what I'll do. In case you need the explanation, you can rewind and see it again, by the way. Okay, to make the question a little less ambiguous, system that satisfies the van der Waals equation of state in a reversible process okay, process that is reversible and isothermal for a van der Waals gas, process that is reversible and adiabatic for a van der Waals gas. If this is the question, then I would say that A, B and C, all of these three are correct. So I know this is a JEE Advanced 2020 question, but without these statements, the question is ambiguous. I don't know what the official answer key says. A lot of places online say that ABC is the correct answer, which means that they are taking these assumptions as implicit. Yeah, D is the absolute incorrect statement over here because you've replaced P external with P internal. So irreversible to ho nahi sakta. Rest of the things implicitly assume these points and mark them as correct. So it's a little tricky, this question. Yeah. Arish, I will from next month. Okay, Arish is asking, will you not come on Unacademy Plus? I will from next month onward. ठीक है जी. So interesting. I found this question a little ambiguous. That's why I thought I'll take it today. चलो जी अगला question करें. Are you ready for the next one? One more very beautiful question. बहुत मजेदार question है. We can spend 2 hours, 3 hours on this question if you want. Yeah? Sriram, that's not necessary, bro. Reversible process can be seen in closed systems. In open systems, it's very difficult for us to see reversible processes. Vishnu, thank you so much, man. Glad you're enjoying the classes. Mayank, no. In my plus course, I will provide some DPP or something on YouTube. I'll tell you what books to solve. Okay. Batao, how do we do this question? Okay, read it. It's very nice. So there are 4 compounds given to you on the left side, and on the right hand side, you have 4 options. What do we do? So on the left side, whatever is the compound, you are reacting it with excess of HI. That is mentioned, that we are going to react them with excess of HI. On the right hand side, we have the nature of the reaction. Yeah. That when the products are formed, which of these are true? I think for the first one, it's very simple. Okay, for the first one, I think it's very simple. I'll try to use some space on this page to do the question. Yeah, so pehle wale mein kya hoga? This is what's going on. The CH3 will not be replaced at all. And OCH3 mein it's difficult to attack I negative over here. Do you agree? This is not possible. I negative is not going to attack over here. There's not going to be a substitution on this carbon. The substitution will happen on this particular carbon. Yeah. So it's very obvious that the compound that you will get will be OH plus you will get 2 times CH3I. Yeah, do you understand? अगर इसमें मैं HI डालूंगा, if I put a lot of HI into the first compound over here, then you get this kind of a main product, and on the side you will get 2 methyl iodides. Done. Very simple. Over here, option P says more than 4 moles of HI are consumed. No, that's not true. More than 4 moles of HI are not consumed. Only 2 moles of HI are consumed. Yeah. Second one says the product reacts with sodium. There are OH groups in the product. Yes, it reacts with sodium. You know how phenol reacts with sodium, right? Phenol reacts with sodium to create a phenoxide ion. If you've forgotten about it, I'll tell you. Eventually gives you O negative Na positive phenoxide ion. Okay? And hydrogen gas, you liberate it. Fine. So, because this is sort of a phenol, complicated phenol, yes, it reacts with sodium. So Q is one of the correct options for A. Then product formed contains secondary halide. No, there is no halide over here. The halide over here is primary. Methyl iodide is one of the products. Yes, it is. Sorry, Q and S. ठीक है जी? Product reacts with sodium. Methyl iodide is formed. So for A, Q and S are the correct options. ठीक है? Done. चलो ये हो गया. A was pretty simple. I'm going to erase this now. Option B is the weirdest of them all. We'll talk about this later. Okay. Let's do C and D first. B पे आते हैं. Okay. It's too much. So let's come to C and D first of all. C में क्या होगा? I'll quickly solve it for you. Okay. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. फटाफट से solve कर देते हैं. Is that okay? Is that okay? This is fine. Anything else that you want to do over here? कुछ और करना चाहते हो? Simple, right? Pretty simple. But is there something else that might happen? चलो ठीक है. Forget about this. Okay, forget about this. For those of you who are asking what is a secondary halide, this is what a secondary halide will look like. The carbon that contains the halogen has 2 more carbons associated to it. This is the secondary halide. यहाँ पे भी there's something that's tricky. Let's look at option D. Okay, option D is the weirdest of them all. Okay, option D. Do you guys know the common name for this guy? Glycerol. Okay, what happens when glycerol reacts with HI? Okay, this is a very beautiful experimentally observed reaction. Okay, when this guy reacts with HI, first of all, it gives you this kind of a structure: iodine, iodine, and iodine. Okay, this is what gets formed. Now, my dear friends, what happens is, यहाँ मैं 3 लिख सकता हूँ. What happens is that when you have multiple iodines next to each other, when you have these vicinal dihalides or trihalides, these are not very stable. So it is seen, okay, it is seen that this guy can lose an iodine molecule and get converted to this type of a structure. ठीक है, यहां से iodine निकाल दिया अपन ने, and there is a double bond that gets formed over there now. This iodine we've not touched. Fine. Now, this structure can yet again react with HI. Okay, this structure can yet again react with HI. And once it does react with HI, there will be Markovnikov addition onto the double bond. Once there is Markovnikov addition onto the double bond, you will get an iodine over here, you will get an iodine over here. वहां पे हाइड्रोजन लग जाएगा जाके. Again, there is a vicinal dihalide. So what happens is that this guy yet again loses an I2 molecule. Okay, this guy yet again loses an I2 molecule and gives you a compound that looks like this. This guy can yet again be reacted with HI. And the final product that you get over here is a very simple secondary halide. This is exactly how glycerol reacts with HI. This is a very well documented reaction. Hello Kumar. There's a person in the chat box called Hello Kumar. Hello Kumar. There's a very, very interesting feature on YouTube that they've released, and it is called the title of the video. Yeah. So that feature was released long back when YouTube was released. Same time, yeah. So that title is something that you should look at. Try it out, okay? मजा आएगा. ठीक है? So what happened over here? Glycerol. We used 3 moles of HI. Something happened. Then we use 1 more mole of HI. Something happened. Then we use 1 more mole of HI. Oi. So for option D, do you realize that yes, we are using more than 4 moles of HI? Is there any product that reacts with sodium? This is the final product. Does this react with sodium? Nah. Does HI react with sodium? I don't think so. Yeah, product formed contains a secondary halide. Yes, it contains a secondary halide. Methyl iodide, I don't see a methyl iodide either. Is there a product that reacts with sodium? Does this reaction happen? Acid with metal. Strong acid with metal reaction ho jayega na? Yeah, what do you think? HI is a strong acid and HI is like HCl, and sodium is a metal. Metal plus acid. This is a very common reaction, isn't it? What do you think? Metal plus acid is a very common reaction. You liberate H2 and you form the salt. So NaI plus H2 will be formed. है ना? So definitely this can happen. Sorry, HI तो अपन वहाँ use कर रहे हैं. What am I doing? Wait. Sorry, HI is something that we are using. HI not one of the products. HI is not one of the products. Does I2 react with sodium? हाँ ये बताओ. Will this happen, or does this guy react with sodium? What do you think? Does an alkyl halide react with sodium, or does a halogen react with sodium? What do you think? Is that possible? कभी देखा ऐसा कुछ होता हुआ लाइफ में? OMG Singh, sir, were you able to solve such good questions when you were preparing for IIT? Not all, but most of them. Some people are saying Woods reaction is possible. हाँ यहाँ पे Woods reaction कर सकते हो आप actually. Yeah, depending on the conditions, you can do a Woods reaction over here. And I think this reaction is also. Is this possible? Can we give it heat and get sodium iodide? Like, is this possible? You tell me. Yeah. This one can be done in a specific kind of a place. Yeah. Woods reaction करवाया जा सकता है यहाँ पे. So I would say that yes, there are conditions in which it can react with sodium. Yeah. तो PQR लिखना चाहूँगा मैं. Okay, so it's not a direct reaction. I mean, none of these reactions are direct reactions. It takes certain reaction conditions for these reactions to happen. if we have to be all inclusive, then we should consider these possibilities. I mean, yeah, ये तो I mean sort of an impossible case. This one, Wurtz reaction, चलो ठीक है. Some condition you might be able to do that. But is Wurtz reaction a reaction with the sodium? मजेदार क्वेश्चन है कि नहीं? yeah. So yeah, you need ether, you need a lot of specific reaction conditions for it to react with sodium, and it doesn't specifically react with sodium. Sodium just allows you to do that reaction. So yeah, I mean, Q अगर नहीं भी लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा. But if you want to consider the Wurtz reaction, okay, fine. Anyway, now my dear friends, that I've told you this jazz, अब बताओ. Now that I've told you this jazz, can you tell me about B and C? C करके देखते हैं. Yeah, from here to here, we've used 3 moles of HI. Yes, now that you've used 3 moles of HI, the next thing that you can do from here is remove an iodine. Okay, then you put another HI over here, then you get this jazz. Same thing जो पहले किया अपन ने. Yeah, just connected the rest of the carbons. Then you again eliminate it. You get this guy, and if you react it with HI yet again, you get a secondary. So same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we are using more than 4 moles of HI over here. Same thing, isn't it? एक ही जैसी चीज कर रहे हैं कि नहीं? What do you think? Sriram is saying that Wurtz reaction happens only in the presence of dry ether. So yeah, the product does not react with sodium directly. Yeah, if we are thinking just about direct reaction, we should consider only P and R over here. Fine. तो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा? Same thing once again, isn't it? Same thing once again. There is no difference. वही वैसे का वैसा ही होगा सब कुछ. So this one is pretty similar to the last one. More than 4 moles of HI consumed, product does not directly react with sodium. So we are assuming this is product directly reacts with sodium. Direct reaction तो नहीं है. Then product form contains secondary halide. Yes, it does. And methyl halide is one of the products. No, it is not. So PR yet again. QS, PR, PR. What about this guy now? इसका क्या करें अब? That was a Markovnikov addition, Dilshad. अब इसमें क्या होगा? Interesting, isn't it? HI will react with OCH3, will react with OCH3, will react with OCH3. It will react with the double bond as well. We missed something here. यहाँ पे one of the products is PHOH, isn't it? This is also one of the products. PHOH will directly react with sodium. I think we missed that one. तो यहाँ पे भी PQR आना चाहिए. And over here as well, there will be water that gets formed. Does water react with sodium? It does. Yeah. यहाँ पे भी whatever gets formed, you will have water on the side, isn't it? From the OH groups that are here. Because first thing you protonate the group, then it leaves. यहाँ पे HI बना. Yeah. Water is getting formed eventually as one of the products. Water also directly reacts with sodium. I don't know why we forgot that. ठीक है. In this case, what do you think is going on? What is going on in the second case? Second case is really interesting. ठीक है. More than 4 moles of HI will be consumed for sure. Yeah, because there will be 3 iodines next to each other. There is one HI that's getting added over here. Same things will happen. So definitely more than 4 moles of HI will be consumed. Does the product react with Na? Yes, there are 3 phenols that are getting formed. So it definitely reacts with sodium directly. Product formed contains secondary halide. If similar things are happening to C and D, there will be secondary halide formation for sure. And even if you don't consider the secondary halide formation from this part, do you understand there will be secondary halide formation over here? When the HI adds on to the double bond, there will be an iodine over here. Forget the double bond, yeah? So secondary halide is going to get created for sure, even if you don't come to the final product. So यहाँ पे P, Q, R, and then it says methyl iodide is one of the products. Now what do you think? Is methyl iodide one of the products? What do you think? हाँ जी, बताओ. It will be formed, right? Are we done with this question? This question was super weird. This will not be asked in JEE Advanced because it takes a lot of time. काफी विचित्र है ये. Okay? This should be the answer key. If you think there is something that we missed, then please tell me. Gautam is saying in place of iodine, if there is fluorine, then explosions will happen. Okay? Then explosions will happen. Rahul is saying, what are Newman projections? The projections that we saw in question number 2 today. Those are called Newman projections, okay? Bhuvan is saying CH3OH plus HI gives you CH3I. Yeah, that is true. Because there is excess of HI. Fine. So, काफी विचित्र सा है यार ये question. Yeah, it's a very weird question, in fact. Okay. The first one is the simplest of these all. B, C and D are super complicated if you think about it. Okay. So, chalo. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This is not that weird. Okay. This is little less weird than the earlier one. Okay. Devesh is saying, Sarji, please help me as I'm unable to follow timetable. Chu mantra who? Now you'll be able to follow the timetable, bro. Bro, change your timetable. As simple as that. Hanji, ab batao ji. What should we do over here? Where are the avocados saying? Are we going to get homework questions here for the Hall of Fame? Yes, we are. Chaitanya is saying, if we take HCl or HBr in excess in the place of HI, will the reactions be similar? Not really. Yeah, vicinal chlorides are still considerably more stable compared to vicinal iodides. Okay? Okay. Ramurthy, you try to do that on your own. It's not very easy to do it. दिमाग खराब हो जाएगा वो लिखते लिखते. Chalo ji, let's do this question now. Number of compounds that give SN2 reaction with measurable rate is X. Okay, so number of compounds that can give SN2 with some rate is X. Okay, and number of compounds that do not react with SN2 or E2 with measurable rate is Y. What is the value of X plus Y? So chalo, dekhte hain. The first case, is it going to give you SN2? No. Is it going to give you E2? No. So this is not going to give you anything. Yeah, this is not going to give you SN2. This is not going to give you E2. Chalo ji. Fine. Next question. This one, this is not going to give you SN2. This is going to give you E2. Yeah. E2 is possible. 3 degree halides mein E2 is easily possible. Next one. Can it give you SN2? Look at this particular carbon. It's a primary halide, isn't it? It's a primary halide. Yes, it can give you SN2. SN2 दे सकता है आपको ये. Yeah? So I will write over here SN2 is possible, isn't it? Is SN2 possible? Yes or no? चलो मान लेते हैं SN2 is possible and E2 is also possible. We don't need to consider E2 separately. We don't need to consider. If SN2 is there, we'll count it in the first case. Yeah. चलो ठीक है. D तो obviously it will give me SN2. For sure it will give me SN2. There's no question about it. Fine. Then option E, it does give me SN2. This is a very good substrate for SN2. Yeah. Benzyl carbon, very good substrate for SN2. So yes, it will definitely give me SN2. This guy, it can give me SN2. Okay. SN2 is possible. It won't be very good, but it will give me a measurable rate. It is not the primary candidate for SN2, but if there's a strong nucleophile out there like KOH, then it can give you an SN2 reaction as well. Fine. Adrito, the founders still have the same relations with me, and I hope you do too. Baki tumhari marzi hai bhai, I'm still teaching you, so I think that's what matters. Devesh, please make targets, man. Timetable is very pointless. ये वाला बताओ. Do you guys remember whether this gives SN2 or not? This one. Tell me, does this give SN2, yes or no? फटाफट से बताओ. It does not give E2 for sure. Yeah. Why doesn't it give E2? Because there's no hydrogen over here. Because there is no hydrogen there to eliminate. This does not give you E2 reaction. What about SN2? What do you think? My dear friends, if you have read SN2 properly, if you have studied about SN2 properly, this particular structure is sterically hindered from this side. If the nucleophile has to approach, let's say OH negative has to approach, there is so much steric hindrance over here, it can't approach from the backward side. The backward side over here has a lot of steric hindrance. Why is there a lot of steric hindrance? Because these carbons have these fans of hydrogens, yeah? तीन hydrogen लटक रहे हैं उस पे like fans. So this particular specific structure, okay, remember it, this particular specific structure which is a primary halide, it is a primary halide because this carbon is connected only to one carbon, but because there's so much crowding on the carbon over here, therefore SN2 cannot happen because of steric hindrance. Okay, this is the case that you have to remember. Rest of the things are pretty simple. This is the case that you have to remember. Over here, can SN2 happen? Yes, SN2 can happen. This is a vinyl, sorry, not vinyl, this is an allyl substrate. What am I saying? Vinyl substrate. Yeah, I forgot allyl vinyl. जो भी है यहाँ पे हो जाएगा. Yeah. I'm getting confused between allyl and vinyl. Yeah. So definitely the attack can happen over here. This will give you a very good stable transition state because of the resonance. Yeah. So over here definitely will give you SN2. Done? Yeah, so this is allyl halide. It's not vinyl. Yeah. Cool. तो यहाँ पे भी SN2 हो जाएगा. This guy. ये तो definitely can't give you any reaction. No SN2 is gonna happen over here. No E2 is gonna happen over here for sure. ये देखो. Do you see a lot of steric hindrance? CH3, 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 CH3. And this carbon has lots of steric hindrance. So to approach it for SN2 is sort of impossible. Yeah, and it's also not possible to approach it for E2 because there is no hydrogen over here that we can eliminate. Yeah. So now is number of compounds that give SN2 reaction with measurable rate X. Which of these are there? Which of these are there? Compounds that can give you SN2 with measurable rate is C, D, E, F and H. 5 compounds. Yeah. And what about the cases which do not react with SN2 or E2? Both. You have A, then you have G, then you have I, and then you have J. These are 4. So 5 plus 4, total value of X plus Y is equal to 9. Chalo ji, done. 5 of these can give you SN2 with a considerable rate. 4 of these don't give you SN2 or E2 either. So combine that number, you get 9 as the correct answer. Nice question, right? Not very simple, not very complicated either. Majedar question tha. A lot of fun. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So people, we've already done 5 questions in today's class. That is awesome. One more question is over here. This is an IUPAC question. This IUPAC nomenclature question, okay? This is your homework question. And if you're smart enough, you will realize that you don't really need to know nomenclature to solve this question. You can just figure out the numbers. If you figure out the numbers, you'll be able to give the correct answer. So this is the homework question. What you have to do is answer it in the comment section down below, okay? Not the chat box, the comments of the video. After the live stream is done, there's a comment section down there. You leave a comment with the answer. And the fastest comments, okay? The people who vote for the answers the fastest, the people who leave the comments as soon as the video is done, I'll take names of those people in the next class. Hall of Fame. ठीक है? Ramurthy, no, I didn't skip any question. 5 are done, right? Cool? हो गया? Yeah. So this is your homework question. Take a screenshot. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Chalo ji. Rosant, I have a lot of study material with me and some questions of today were from JEE Advanced 2020 paper. ठीक है? प्रवर सिंह सर प्लीज 2021 के लिए कुछ लाइए. तो ये क्या था मेरे भाई? ए भगवान, प्रवर पूरी क्लास खत्म कर दी 2021 की, फिर बोलते 2021 के लिए कुछ लाओ. अरे भाई ये है तो सही. And in the beginning itself I've told you that there is something called the high octane series. The link is in the description box down below. Join it. It's a free series for you 2021 students. Why do you want to make me cry, people? Tech Master is saying, sir, increase the number of questions. Bro, take 5. Take 5. We'll take 5 and we're done. Okay? These questions take a lot of time because these are good questions. Okay? Parivesh, the internet doesn't work in the basement. There's no light in the basement either. Murli saying, won't the rate of SN2 for D in question 5 be too fast to measure? If you think about it that way, then yeah, bro. But no, it can still be measured. Okay? If the reaction happens, the rate can be measured. If the reaction doesn't happen, then the rate can't be measured. Okay? ठीक है, बढ़िया, ये हो गया. So, अच्छा ये कुछ पहले के questions आ गए यहाँ पे. Anyway, people, so yeah, in case you are preparing for 22 or 23 JEE, then these offers are for you. 1 year Unacademy subscription पे 3 months are free and 2 year Unacademy subscription पे 4 months are free. The last date for this offer is tomorrow. Okay. Really amazing offer. And what's the benefit of Unacademy compared to any other institute is that we offer a subscription, and under the subscription you have access to all the courses that are running at Unacademy. So you're not just joining one batch or one course. Every batch, every course that we have running on Unacademy, more than 3,000-4,000 courses actually, are open to you. You can learn from any teacher you want that's there. Some of the iconic teachers that we have on our platform are people like N. VK Jaiswal, MS Chauhan, DC Pandey. If you are someone who's aspiring for IIT and NEET, then you would know these names already. Yeah, so these people actually teach live on Unacademy's Plus platform. And in case you want to enroll for that, these are the pricing details. Okay, if you enroll for 12 months, then the cost is lesser than 3,000 a month. And on 12 months, you're getting 3 months for free. That's like biggest value for money proposition ever. PAHUL, Pahul is the coupon code. Yeah, my name. So this is the price for the Plus subscription. You can check it out on Unacademy's app or website. And this is the Plus detail. This is the iconic subscription. Okay. What's iconic subscription? Iconic subscription is where we allocate a personal mentor to you as well. There's a mentor that's allocated to you, which is very interesting because a lot of students don't do anything. Okay, so if you have a personal mentor, that personal mentor will take care of your study plan, your tests, your study material, whether you're doing things or not, etc., etc. So personal guidance, iconic subscription. Plus subscription, you are available. I mean, all the batches are available, all live classes are available. You can get in touch with the teachers over there. You can get your doubts solved in the class. But if you need a little more pampering, then iconic subscription is what you need to go for. Fine, ठीक है? Chalo ji. Now I will just chat with you guys for 2-3 minutes and then we will end the class. Shyam is saying pre-block is not there, sir. It will be there someday. Okay. Rahul, no. Shashank is saying, sir, I am little distracted by Netflix. What should I do? Don't watch Netflix, bro. People who ask me, sir, I am distracted by distractions. What should I do? There is no jadoo mantra for that, okay? There is no magic wand that exists which I will do and you will be like, oh, distraction is gone. You have to control it. Is your goal important to you? If yes, then why are you attracted to anything else apart from the goal? XYZG is saying my basics are clear, but I was not serious up till this point. Can I still clear JEE Advanced with a good rank? If you're able to solve questions, then you will clear JEE Advanced. Solve more and more questions, practice as much as possible. Tushar is saying, what's the schedule for the High Octane series? Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9:30. Okay, and these are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:15 p.m. But somewhere in the next month, I'll turn these to 9 p.m. classes because I have to put more classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Deepak is saying, is it okay to study just one subject for the entire day? Yes, it is absolutely fine. Rahul, thank you so much, man. Glad you're enjoying. Khushbu, what? Can't understand your sentence, Khushbu. Please elaborate. Yeah. Vidit, not a fan. Sorry. Daksh, I've already explained that in like 20 videos earlier. Chaitanya is asking, sir, is SN1 more favorable for benzyl carbons or SN2? Depends on the reagent. Okay, if you have a strong nucleophile, then SN2. If you have a weak nucleophile, then SN1. Okay, so it depends entirely on the reagent and the reaction conditions that you're taking. Fine. If the reaction conditions are like you are doing the reaction in water, the nucleophile is strong but not that strong, then both the conditions will happen. Okay, both SN1 and SN2 will give you the respective products. Fun thing is both of them will give you eventually the same product. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Manthan, there'll be lots and lots of classes in the Take 5 series. Kishan already answered that question somewhere else. Why is that important? I do not understand at all. Rahul is saying, how are you, sir? And is the situation fine over there? Rahul, the lockdown is going on, Bangalore, and the The lockdown is there in place till the 7th of June, but they might extend it if cases increase. So, is MS Chauhan irrelevant for JEE? Not at all, bro. It is the most important book that you can solve for organic chemistry. Okay. Shyam is saying, can I solve all the lessons if I know the concepts within NEET? You have to practice more questions, bro. For sure. Okay. Chalo. People, yes, Rahul, the class will happen tomorrow. Yeah. So for the high octane series, people, that's like a full revision series. And we revise concepts using questions from JEE Advanced previous years in that. So you can check out the link of that series in the description box down below. That's happening free on the Unacademy's platform. Fine. People, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see each other once again in some class or the other. The Take 5 next class will be on Thursday at 8:15 p.m. the same time. And 5 more interesting questions we will solve. Please keep solving questions for all of you who are aiming at 2021 examinations. Stay consistent with your practice, and JEE Advanced will not be difficult for you. JEE Mains will be easy for sure. Chalo ji. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon.